welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Tuesday, November 5th. This is a podcast about knitting books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have various social medias you can follow me on. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there if you would like. I also have show notes, so things that I will be talking about you can find links to, which are on my blog, which if you're on YouTube is down below, or if you're on my blog already, everything is already there. I am also a knitting pattern tech editor, so if you know of someone or if you yourself are in need of an editor for any upcoming knitting patterns, I would love to work with you. I have the information on the Graceful Edits tab, which is found on my blog, or you can also send me a message on Instagram, and I would love to chat with you about it. Or you can just say hi, that's fine too. We have a lot to talk about. Today, we're finally out of the rundown of events that have happened, and now we're back to regular schedule. I'm just having a hard time coming up with words this morning, apparently. So we have a lot of projects to talk about. I do have a lot of progress to show you. I've been knitting. I've had a lot of opportunities to get a lot of knitting done, which is very exciting. I am not complaining. And yeah, so without further ado, if you want to grab something tasty to drink, we are hydrating today. Something tasty to drink, something to craft upon, something to snack upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, whatever it may be. I hope it's either bringing you joy and or rest, or I'm helping you get through a task that is not as much fun. Even though it's Tuesday, I still have laundry to fold because I didn't get it all done yesterday. It's the task that never ends. And you can do all of those things, none of those things, whatever it may be, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So, everyone, hello, how are you? Hope we're all well. We have enjoyed some storms that came through today. Sorry, my weightlifting calluses are a little bit flaky and they are going to snag on things. That's better. What a distraction. We had some storms roll through, and though temperatures are not cold by any means, they are cooler than they have been. So we're grateful for that. It's not our average November weather, but that's okay. We will get there eventually. Maybe, maybe not. That's okay. So I'm trying to channel my inner fall vibes today. I hope you are enjoying your fall weather if you are having that wherever you are located. I have quite a lot of like random, they're not random. Projects are never random. What am I trying to say? In like an effort to be somewhat organized this morning, tasks that I normally procrastinate with, I try and do before I work out. So, because I really, the goal is to work out in the morning, and if I can get, and I can't work out until I get certain tasks done, so then I get those done really early, and then everything's done, and then I can have more time and more space to do the things that I may not procrastinate on. I may still procrastinate on them, but I'm less likely to. So one of those things is to gather all the projects that I just generally put in this area where I podcast, that I gather as I do other things. And so I just have this massive pile of project bags, and none of them are like really well organized, I guess. So we're gonna line things up now. We have so much to talk about, everybody. I got so much done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 projects. What? Okay, let's start with the smallest, and we'll do them together. They are 2 pairs of socks. And we'll do these really cute ones first, and though they may be seasonally not relevant anymore, that's okay. We always love a good ghosty sock, regardless of the time of year, right? These are one of the October socks from the Colorwork Club that Summerly Knits is doing this year. And I love this so much. It is just so cute. I am also using a sock yarn. What am I saying? Sock yarn from Kettle and Hearth Fibers that I was given because I am an affiliate, and I have an affiliate code link. If you would like to use that link whenever you shop at Michelle's store online, I will get a little bit of a kickback, which would be wonderful. But yes, so all that being said, this is the color Nutmeg Spice, which I think is just so beautifully autumnal, and that's pretty accurate. I love the purples in it. I think it's a really beautiful mixture of the warm browns, rosy browns, and like the mauvey purples, which is very pretty. I used Suburban Stitcher for my heel, and I will also use Suburban Stitcher for my toe. I can't remember what this colorway is called. And Rusty has nestled onto some tissue paper that has been one of his random toys. If you play with the tripod, I'm going to be a little irritated. So please don't. Thank you. Hello, I love you. Do you want to hop up on my little stool like you did when you were a little kitten? Hello. Wow, we are very investigative today. What are you doing? Oh my. Oh my goodness gracious, look at this little baby. Look at this baby boy. So I'm just ready for the toe. That's all I have to do. And why have I procrastinated? As we've discussed, I am clearly someone who procrastinates. Why I've done that, I don't know, but I have, so it is what it is. But I'm really happy with these. I think they're super cute. I can't wait to get started on the second one. The ghosty pattern like flew by. It was very cute. I use random stash yarn for the ghosties, and I think they're just so adorable. So would recommend these patterns. Summerly Knits, just can't go wrong with her sock patterns, and of course Kettle and Hearth Fibers. Ta-da! Beautiful. So that is sock number 1. Sock number 2 has a finished one and a good chunk done on the second one. Ta-da! Sock number 1. Thank you for making so much noise on your crinkle pad while I'm recording. I appreciate it greatly. Wow, child. Oh, it's a good thing you're so cute. I know. I love you so much. Here's sock number 1. It's a plain vanilla sock. I used yarn that I got from when I went to visit my parents and got to meet my friend Shayna, and we stopped in Denver at Colorful Yarns, and I got a spun right round skein, and the colorway is Memento. That was a lot of information that I happen to remember correctly, so pat on the back for me. But I'm super happy with how this turned out. I think it's so cute. I love the little mini micro stripes that just happened because of pooling. I did a shadow wrap heel, just trying out new things again. This was the type of heel that I did on my Ellen Griswold socks, which are now out, by the way, if you are interested in any of the Christmas movie collection socks by Songbird Handmade. Okay, hey, are we playing with my feet right now? This is not the time. There are 3 pairs of socks in this collection. There's the Ellen Griswold, there's the Kevin, I can't remember his last name, from Home Alone, and then the Scott Calvin ones from Santa Claus. It's a collection, so you get all 3 of them. I would highly recommend them. I loved making my Ellen Griswold socks, but in that pattern I learned a new heel, and so I loved it so much that I just plugged it into my vanilla sock, and I love it. So I thought it was super fun, and then I decided to do this brown chestnutty toe as kind of a different vibe. I thought it would be fun. So this is done. And I am probably more than halfway on my second cuff, I think. Whoa, what are we doing? If we're trying to get into this project bag, that is not cool. Are we playing with my toes? What are we doing? What are we even doing, sweet boy? He's just being ridiculous right now. Oh yeah, oh yeah, wow. So I'm just plugging along. This is kind of my mindless knitting at the moment if I need something that I know I don't have to like eventually measure. I know what number of rows I'm knitting to, so that's nice. But yeah, I'm definitely more than halfway for that. So that's very exciting. I am just plugging along with these, and it has been enough time that I do not remember how to do the shadow wrap heel, so I'm gonna have to relook that up, but that's okay. That's just part of learning things, and the expectation of me having it memorized is unrealistic. So after only doing it twice, that is not fair to me. So you're gonna stick your head in there, right? Or now we're gonna play with the tripod and probably wiggle the camera. Yep. We're hugging it now. Oh my goodness, I just love you so much. You're so freaking cute. Whoa. Okay. So those are the 2 smallest items. Next up, let's just go by size, shall we? The next smallest item is this, which last time I think I talked about the By the Bay backpack that I got from DFW Fiberfest, and it was in a similar maroon, and I laughed that I had another bag of theirs that was also maroon that I had gotten at a previous DFW Fiberfest, and so this was holding a languishing whip that I'm not sure if I'm going to finish, but that's not to be decided right now, so I removed that and put in a current project. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I did in fact cast on something that I didn't really need to or have any business casting it on, but it was gonna make me happy, and we were taking a little weekend trip and I wanted something fun and new that was small, that wasn't a pair of socks, because I already had socks that I needed to work on. So I cast on my little bubble bandana by Stephen West, which I am so happy with how this is turning out. Can we even? I'm loving this. It is such an easy pattern. It's such a fun, like, mindless, but also, like, kind of pay attention pattern. I'm weaving my ends in as I go, so when I'm done I can just trim all these, which is really nice. Otherwise I would be a little frustrated, but that's okay. That's why we're weaving them in as we go. And yeah, I'm just plugging along. This is like, I'm just loving working on this. This is just bringing me so much joy. I love my color palette. This is yarn that I also got from DFW Fiberfest from a chick that knits. They are located in Edmond, Oklahoma, fun fact, which is special because I'm originally from Oklahoma, fun fact. There we go. It's a cute little logo. These are, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 minis in various colors. Ooh, you really want this. Look at those eyes. But I give this to you, then I'm gonna lose this one. And I need this. You little chicken. I want to give it to you so bad, but I don't really think that's a good idea. How about you play with this little pommy? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, where did it go? We don't know where it went. Where did it go? Whoa! I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing at you. You're just too cute. You're just too freaking cute, you know? There, you can sniff my toe. How about that? Yum, yum, yum. So, yes, I have the colors pomegranate. I know we have caramel. I know Merlot is one. That's caramel. It's not helpful. Oh, here's the other ones. We have mulled wine. That may be what I was thinking of. I said pomegranate. We have Gothic Enchantress, which is the dark purple, I know. And we have Bashful. So no, we didn't have Merlot. But mulled wine is pretty close, so I'll take that as a win. I'm loving this. If you want a stash bust, also if you have leftover minis from anything, or Advent countdown season is upon us, and I know for a fact, speaking for myself, that I have plenty of leftover mini skeins that haven't been fully used from Advent's past, and this particular project would be like a super easy, quick knit. Also good gift knit if you're wanting something small for someone. That's not like a huge time commitment. Super fun. Would highly, highly recommend. The Bubble Bandana by Stephen West. So next up, what shall we do by size? Shall we go by progress and size? Let's do that. Okay, so next up would be I pulled out, this has been very randomly worked on here and there, but it's been enough progress that I feel like I can count it. But this is part of my Stick Season Pullover by Rebecca Clow of the Creabea Designs podcast. I am using the Conifer Collective's Tweed DK in the Lavender Haze colorway, which is a Taylor Swift reference, and if you're new here, we are Swifties through and through. So, in case you were curious. But I am loving working on this. I remember when I cast this on, as I was working on it, I hadn't gotten very much progress in, and I was very confused and concerned if this color was really the best for this pattern because of the texture. There was a chance that you could lose the texture with the color and the variegation, but as I continued to work on it, I was like, no, we're going to trust my gut. I know that this is going to be cute. I continued on, and I'm very glad that I have continued on. This has just been a very slow going project for me, not because of the pattern. If this is all I was working on, I would like whip it out lickety split. But because I've been working on other things, it's just slow going. So I have been throwing it into my rotation of like every 20-30 minutes we switch projects and we get progress done on 9 different things apparently. And so that's been very nice. But yeah, still just plugging along, enjoying myself. Love this yarn. I love the tweed. I can't wait to get to like the non-textured portions, and then I can really see, not that I can't see the yarn here, but then I can really see the various colors and the yarn and like compare it to the textured sections, and I'm with the tweed and I'm just very excited. So loving this. Loving that. That's just so fun. Next up, size-wise, let's go with this one. This is my Sugar Rush shawl by Knits by Jackie. I believe that's it. Yes, I know that sounded weird. He's now like sleeping on my toe and I can't move my foot. So that's fun. Okay, I am pretty sure. Oh, knitted. It was close. Knitted by Jackie Verbeek. I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. I did this last time. I looked up her Instagram account and then I got distracted on her Go Dynamo shawl, which she's posting about, and it's just so cute. So this is her pattern. It's the Sugar Rush shawl. And last time we chatted, I had explained the boucle versus the Surrey situation and hadn't gotten there yet, but was going to. I did finally do another row with the Surrey, which looks so much more like the pictures now, and that was my own fault. But that's okay, as we can see, it kind of blends in well. It's not a problem. We're just having a grand old time. And now I'm on my second brioche section. So I'm doing the small version, which I believe is 12 sections in total, and my yarn is, originally it was all from Charming You, which we got and saw Marine at DFW Fiberfest, but my Surrey is now from Mace of Skeins, who was also at DFW Fiberfest, not bending this year, but I got this when we were there 2 years ago. So all DFW Fiberfest yarn, ultimately, which is very fun. I am really enjoying this. The pattern is very interestingly laid out, and it's in such a way that I appreciate, especially for people who may have a hard time like reading patterns, especially with repeats of like, you do this a certain amount of times, and does it mean like that plus this amount, or is it the whole total, or like what are we trying to say here? This pattern, and there are several patterns written like this or formatted like this, and it's just it takes the guesswork out of trying to translate these patterns. But there's like a grid, or not a grid, but it's like lines with boxes, and it shows you how many times you repeat things, and you can check things off as you go, and it's very satisfying, and it's like, it makes it go by super fast, and it's very satisfying to check things off. I feel like I could speak for a lot of people when it comes to that, not just myself. So I'm really enjoying working from this pattern. The way that brioche is written is a little different than the standard way of writing brioche, but I appreciate that Jackie wrote that in such a way that would make sense to someone who hadn't done brioche before. So it's using different terminology to help you visualize how to do brioche, I think, which is very smart. But there are times when I go to do the brioche and I'm like, wait, what is this trying to say? I'm trying to think of the brioche terms, and I'm trying to think of the terms that she's written them in, which she's explained it very clearly in the pattern. It's just that I forget. So I just have to go into autopilot when it comes to the brioche section sometimes, of just like, I know this is just regular brioche, I'm just gonna do that. It's so much fun. It's so much color. These colors were inspired after, taking the color class with Knit Graffiti, or Leslie Ann Robinson at DFW, so that was super fun. But this has also just been a very slow moving project, and it's in the rotation when it comes to my 20-30 minutes. And it's just fun. It's a very enjoyable process, and the rows are really long, but that's okay. We're gonna go over my mystery knit along in just a second, so those rows are even longer, so we will not complain. It's okay. So next up by size, let's do the other shawl. These 4 projects are kind of roughly in the same size and like status of progression. I have been slowly but surely working on my hap, my Hansel hap by Gundren Johnston. I'm working on the border, which is kind of like an applied border as you go. And oh, everybody, can we even? Can we even? It looks so good. So yes, I'm doing the wavy little border on the end. You can opt to not do that, but I wanted to do it, so I am. It is definitely slow going, I will not lie, but that's okay. I mean, it's all part of the process, and I have loved working on this, and it's just brought me so much joy. So I know that this edging will be so worth it. I love this yarn so much. I can't wait to be able to wear it and like just snuggle up in it. It smells so good. It's so squishy. It's just wonderful. I got this yarn from Maker and Stitch, which, if you are new, is my mom's local yarn shop in Edwards, Colorado. And they are new carriers of Jameson. So we do love it. Do I have all the colors in here? No, I do not. But that's okay. I'm woefully behind on Ravelry project pages, and for that I do apologize. I am not proud of that. So one of these days I need to sit down and really like actually update things. So I apologize for that, but with colorway names and things like that. But yes, I'm loving this. Gundren helped pick out these colors with me, which just makes it even more special. And yeah, so I'm just plugging along on the edging, and I do my 20-30 minutes. We get a few of the little scallops done, and we move along, and it comes back around eventually, and I can usually get about 2 of the scallops done, maybe 2.5 if I'm lucky, within 30 minutes ish. And sorry, my nose just got very itchy. Ooh. So I mean, I make good progress. It's just that the edging along the bottom is particularly large, which is understandable because it's the edge of a shawl. There's also something about this particular lace pattern. I cannot remember anything. Normally, once I do it a couple times, I can see the pattern, and or like literally, I can literally see the pattern, and then I can see the pattern of like repeating things in the actual written instructions, and so I don't have to reference it as much. But for some reason, my brain is just like, I have no idea what we're doing. All I know is that we maybe start with a knit 2. Sometimes it's a knit 1. Sometimes there's a yarn over in there. Sometimes it's slip, slip, knit. I don't know. So I have to like always have it open. It's not something I can easily bring with me and just kind of do on the go. I have to pay attention, and otherwise I will get lost. So, but that's okay. It's okay. It's one of those things that is forcing me to slow down and really appreciate what I'm doing, which is always good and important. And so I'm grateful for a project that makes me do that, even though it may be irritating at times. Okie dokie. So next up, oh, big stretch, sweet baby. Oh yeah. What a good boy. I've just powered through these projects. We've got 3 projects left to talk about, and we're only in 30 minutes, so what up? What's up with that? What's up with that? Next up is my I'm Not at Rhinebeck, I Have FOMO cast on. Which obviously Rhinebeck is over, and I no longer have FOMO about it. That's okay. We have a project to commemorate the time where we were all experiencing FOMO. This is just a plain Toasta Tea, once again by Rebecca Clow of the Crayabea Designs and Podcast. I am using another Taylor Swift themed yarn. This is from the Eras 2 collection from Sorella. This is Illicit Affairs, excuse me. Which every time I say that, I get the song stuck in my head, and I don't mind because it's a great song, but then it's stuck in my head for a long period of time, so there's that. I have divided for the sleeves. I am loving it. It is so wonderful. I have tried it on as I've gone because I had to add some extra length before dividing for the sleeves for what I wanted, and loving how things are fitting so far. I'm very happy with how the neckline has turned out. I've seen various necklines that are a wide variety of sizes, and so I was unsure how this one, or how it would turn out on me in my preferred neckline, and it is perfect. I'm so happy with it. So that's very exciting. I'm loving working with this yarn. And yeah, now we're on Body City. Is that what we call it? Because it's Sleeve Island and it's Body City. So yeah, I'm just like maybe 2 rows past the sleeve divide, and we're just plugging along now. So I am not planning on doing any form of shaping. I think I just want it straight down. And yes, I am doing really well with my yarn amount. I only got 3 skeins of Illicit Affairs, where if you look at the yardage that is required for the size that I'm making is significantly more than 3 skeins, but I didn't want to commit to more than 3 skeins, buying more than 3 skeins, and I knew that like I would probably be shortening it or something. My yardage wouldn't quite be that. So I'm doing really well. This is still my first skein. I have still a pretty decent chunk of this, and I'm now on the body, so I'm not worried about yarn amounts. We will continue on and enjoy our time. So I'm just really loving that. Sam and I went on a little weekend trip, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and I brought 5 projects, I think, for a 3-day, 2 travel day trip. It was a road trip, so there was plenty of time in the car. I worked on everything. I got a lot of progress done on everything. 2 of those items were the 2 socks that we talked about. One of them was the bubble bandana. That was what I cast on for the trip. This was another one, and that was 5 of them. So it was a great time. We got progress on everything. And I worked on this during the LSU Texas A&M football game, which was quite exciting, if you were aware of college football. So that was memorable. And I'm just loving working on this, and now I'm just like tootling along, and it's gonna be a book knit and a reading knit and a K-drama knit, so I can read the subtitles and that kind of thing. So I'm very excited about that. Next up, also kind of coming to that point as well, I randomly was like, I need to work on my Christmas sweater. And yes, I do in fact have a Christmas sweater. I am working on a ranunculus by Midori Hirose? The ranunculus is one of those patterns that has taken the internet by storm over the past several years in the knitting world. If you are unfamiliar, I'm pretty sure you've probably seen it at some point. And you may not know if you think that you don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure you know what it is. So I am just loving how this is going so far. This has gone so quickly. And we are with my parents, my family, for Christmas this year. So it will potentially be snowy. We will be in Colorado. This is gonna be perfect. I'm so excited. My yarn, which I also got at Maker and Stitch, is Isair Soft. And it's kind of like a blown crocheted, a blown chain yarn, if you can see that. So it's like super, super fluffy. It's very soft. This is color 37. And I'm just having a grand old time. I'm very close to dividing for the sleeves. I think I've got about maybe 4 to 6 more rows. I have done some of the like raglan increases, so all the lace is done. It is all complete. Look at that, how beautiful! I love this color. I'm so excited about this color. And yes, I am so excited. Just loving this. I don't really know what else to say about it other than I love it. Words are escaping me at this point. So yes, I'm just tootling along. Like I said, this will be my Christmas sweater. Probably wear it multiple times, or not just on Christmas. But we will probably, what day does Christmas fall on this year? I have no idea. I did at some point. But I'll probably wear it to like the Christmas Eve service at my parents' church and that kind of thing. So I love it. I am so excited. It's so soft and it's fuzzy and it's festive. But it's also one of those things that's not necessarily like only Christmas or only the holiday season. Clearly this green applies to any type of time of year where it is chilly. If it ever gets chilly. I won't go off on that tangent. No, I won't. I will resist. I will resist. But yes. This is a really great pattern. Would recommend. I also, the first time I knit this, was years and years ago, and at the time it was still a one-size-fits-all pattern, and now the size range is incredible. So many size options. It's just amazing. So I think that's also really cool, because even if you only have like your size matches only one of the things or whatever, you can pick the size based off of the ease that you want, so that gives you even more options of the sweater, which I think is really great. So I'm loving that. Really, really enjoying it. This has been my like, I don't really want to work on anything else right now. I just want to work on my ranunculus. My holiday sweater, get into the holiday spirit. I have yet to watch any Hallmark Christmas movies. The time is coming though. The time is coming. And that's not because I haven't wanted to. It's because usually when they're on, I'm busy or doing other things or we're watching something else or something like that. So the time is coming where I will set aside time to watch a Hallmark or some kind of movie like that, and I will work on my ranunculus, and we will have all the holiday vibes. I cannot wait. So lastly, but by no means leastly, we have, oops, my Go-Go Dynamo, which I am, now that it is all finished, and now I've seen many different kinds of them, versions, edited versions, full-on versions, different color palettes, multiple colors, gorgeous versions. All of them are beautiful. I haven't really seen one that I didn't like, which I feel like is saying something. It's a good pattern. And now I'm blanking on whose it was. I know there are multiple people who have done this at this point, but there was one in particular that I saw, and I will link it in the show notes so you can go check them out on Instagram. But I saw this version and I was like, that is what I want to do. That is what I'm going to do. So it's basically taking this full crescent shawl and not completing all of it, and kind of adding a little bit to it around the neck area to make it more of a scarf shape, which for me and what I enjoy wearing, I'm more likely to wear that. So I'm really excited. I saw this and I was like, oh, I love that idea. I love that idea. So that is my plan. I am currently still in Clue 2, but last time we chatted I was still in Clue 1 because I had messed up and had to go all the way back to the beginning. We've made it past that point, and now I'm in Clue 2, which is the brioche section. And here is my progress. I realized that, like, I have not really shared anything about mine anywhere. I am loving how this is turning out. This is Cascade Heritage as the white, and then the variegated pinky, yellowy, peachy is Peach Princess from Peachy Skein. And for the brioche, I was on the fence about doing the eyelets, and then I decided I really like the squishy look of the brioche, especially now that I'm doing the scarf, or a scarf version. So I'm doing brioche, and I have thrown all of the bits of mohair and other colors that I think go within this palette into my bag. And I would show you all of them, but it would be a big mess. So I'm not going to do that, but I promise you that I have a bunch of fun colors that kind of go in the same color vibe, color palette that will be used later on down the line, and I'm so excited. There's something about like seeing these finished versions and, I don't know, maybe being patient, if that's the right word, for me personally, and how I've been trying to knit this year, of like making something in such a way that I know for a fact I'm gonna wear it or use it or love it in a particular way, even if that means making changes to something. So then when I see all these changes and these different versions and things, and then I get inspired, or I see more possibilities, if that makes sense. Because before I was having a hard time seeing how could I change this to make this something that like I would wear more. Not that I wouldn't wear it, but something that I would even love even more. There we go. So it worked out for the best that I got stuck on Clue 1. So when I was still working on Clue 1, time number 2, everybody else was finishing and showing all their edited versions, and it was like, oh my goodness, I have a reinvigorated love for this. This is so exciting. I feel so inspired. I'm gonna go pull all these fun colors into this shawl, and this is gonna be my version of this thing that I'm gonna really, really, really love. And I'm so excited. I love it. So this is, again, this is the Mystery Knit Along from 2024, Go Go Dynamo by Stephen West. We do love Mystery Knit Along time. It's been a long time since I was knitting along with the clues and was able to keep up with them, but that's okay. I've removed that pressure from myself. At one point that was what I enjoyed doing. That is no longer what I enjoy doing, and that's okay. That's just me changing and growing and maturing in my knitting journey. If that is what you love to do, more power to you. I am so happy for you. That's just not me, and that's okay. Also, because I cannot just work on one thing. That would make me so sad. It would make me so sad to just work on one thing unless I absolutely had to. Oh, that is just not how my knitting brain works. And it works for some people, and I love that for them. Sometimes I wish it did, but it doesn't work for me that way, and that's okay. That's okay. We all have knitting brains. We have different knitting processes, and everyone is unique to themselves, and that's wonderful. It's part of this beautiful thing of being creative. So those are all my projects. I do have one little acquisition that I want to share with you guys that I love so much. This is so cute. I just think it's so sweet. I have been a big fan, and I know that I have talked about these bags several times. I have 2 of these bags. These 2 bags. And I have a couple others as well. But I got a new bag from Elena of Rosen Seams, and this is her country mouse print. It's so cute. It is so cute. Everyone, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, oh my goodness, these little mice, these little hedgehogs and squirrels and mushrooms and things are just so cute. I do not believe this is in her shop anymore, which is very unfortunate, so I'm very sorry about that, but, and I know she's got other things in her shop right now, so if you're interested, I love her bags. They're super high quality. They've got a very nice flat bottom, very roomy on the inside. She has different sizes. There's also a little carabiner type thing that comes with a few little light bulb stitch markers. It's a drawstring, which is nice, and we do love a good handle. So would highly recommend, if you are unfamiliar with Elena's bags, please go check them out. This one that I've had for a very long time has snaps, which is helpful if you have a little cat who likes to dig around in project bags. But you can see it snaps, which is very nice. I feel like sometimes snaps are better. I do love a good zipper. Don't get me wrong, I have plenty of bags with zippers, but there's always a little bit of me that's like, what if something snags? So you don't have that problem with snaps, but I'm so excited about this. I have some other acquisitions coming in the mail and things that I want to show you guys that I'm so excited about. There's just not enough time to knit all the things. Alas. alas, 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 Rusty has turned himself onto his back now, and it is very cute. He is very sweet. And I love, he doesn't normally sleep in this area, so I think it's very sweet that he is sleeping here to be close to me. He's a good little boy. Okie dokie. Everyone, that is all that I have for you all this week. We barreled through all those projects, and it's not even quite an hour. It's very close to, but not quite an hour. Look at me go. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Again, I have show notes. I have social media information. I have tech editing information. And all that stuff will be in the show notes or on my blog. If I happen to forget anything, or if you have any questions, or if you just want to say hi, please feel free to send me a message on Instagram. I would love to chat with you. Yes, we have crafty plans. We have many crafty plans. And, yes. I just had a thought that, like, December will be here before we know it, and then I'll probably be taking time off for the rest of the year until January. I need to figure that out. That is not a decision for right now while I'm literally recording. We will figure that out later. Things to think about. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you coming back every week and just hanging out with me. It means a lot. I hope that you have had a wonderful weekend. Continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are so successful. Whatever they may be, maybe you are starting your gift knitting. Maybe you're finishing up your mystery knit along. Maybe you're just doodling along with whatever you want, and I love that for you. Whatever it is, I hope it's bringing you joy. And if it's not bringing you joy, maybe stop working on it unless you have to, in which case, more power to you to get through it. Anyway. Oh, what a big stretch. What a big stretch. I gotta go. So you are wonderful. You are enough. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you all next time. Bye!